flow.
Man, so cool. Well, welcome everybody today. We got a pretty cool AMA coming up with Cantina Royale. You guys just saw the video. This project is doing some really cool, unique stuff. So let's welcome Radu and Roy to the stage. Hey guys.
Hey everyone. Hey, nice to meet you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, that trailer is it's absolutely awesome. I love the music and the feel. It's just got this like really, really fun vibe. To kick it off, you guys, can you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your role at Cantina Royale?
Sure. I guess I'm going to start, Ray. So my name is Radu. I'm a VP of Operations for both Virco and Cantina Royale. So when it comes to my role, I'm pretty involved with the game together with Roy, but also working a lot, with the whole blockchain integration, the integration of Virco, and everything that comes to that. Roy, you want to go next?
Yeah. So my name is Roy. I'm 35 years old. I'm the GM of Cantina Royale and also the GM of B2C in Virco. I think that basically what we're doing is trying to make the best game possible and the most entertaining one, like to have availability for all the players. Okay. And for Virco, basically the idea is to have like a template ability for other games to be incorporated inside.
Very cool. I mean, you can tell, like, you saw a little bit of like the different, the two different game modes in that trailer there. In terms of what you guys are doing with the graphics, like obviously it's really cutting edge. For somebody though who's like just seeing this now, like for the first time, can you give like what exactly is Cantina Royale? Can you give a brief like introduction?
Sure. So I guess I will start. You mentioned a bit about the graphics. So I think the team did a really great job in terms of the graphics because we wanted to have it on multiple devices, to have every device supported while at the same time looking great. But in terms of Cantina Royale, like a first, highlight would be, we wanted to do things a bit differently, I would say, and wanted to come to this space with a bit of a different game that we saw was missing. And that was a real-time tactical shooter, something where skill could potentially matter more than anything else. So this is what we wanted to build, a fun game, something we could enjoy. And when it comes to the game modes, we know that most of the games launch here with PvP, which is endless content you can have for the game and for the players. But you sometimes want to switch things up. You want to maybe take a different path. Take a break from grinding PvP maybe in ranked for too many hours. So that's why we also came with the pretty interesting PvE missions, raids, and contracts, and all of that stuff. And that allowed us really to do some seasonal content that we take in mind, and just have a break from the PvP grinding and give something interesting to the community. Ray, maybe you want to add something?
I think just to add a bit to what Radu is saying, he mentioned it at the beginning. So we're going all platforms, mobile first. I think that the main issue here is to have availability for all the players, all the gamers that are out there. Not necessarily, of course, we will have a desktop and Mac version as well, but the whole point is so that players will be able to play the game whenever they want. If they're waiting for a bus, if they're sitting in class, if they're on a break or something, everything will be launched on mobile. In addition, I think that one of the greatest thing about the game is that it's not necessarily only a play and earn. We have a free-to-play version as well, so that you don't have to shed any money or anything in order to get inside like the atmosphere and the game and to enjoy it. You can have easy access for everyone. I think that the most important thing about Cantina Royale is the fact that you're playing a Web3 game without even knowing that it is a Web3 game.
Cool. And so like Yeah, I saw some of those moves, right, that the characters are making and everything. Like all of that's going to be available. There's not going to be any differences between like the mobile version and the PC version.
No differences. Yeah.
Okay, I think so. Roy, Radu, I got to stop you guys for a second. Let's play some of that gameplay footage because like it's so fresh and like
Cool.
again, I'm convinced these guys are like experts because like the moves that they're making are crazy. But watch, check out this gameplay footage. We'll play some PVE and some PvP stuff right now.
Melee kill. Energy is low.
Yeah, that's actually us playing the game. We had such a fun night. That's a alpha version of the game that we are playing. Me and Roy are on that map, getting a bit beaten by the game developers themselves. But that's us there, and I'm still not tired watching that video.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like you didn't even realize that the time flew by. It was like we were playing for 3 hours, and it's like, oh my god, it's getting so late now. It's so much fun.
I mean, you guys got to be so proud, like when you also see those graphics and like you've taken on something ambitious here. And like, let's dive into the NFTs because obviously you can tell right from the start they're 3D. Can you explain more about like the NFTs that are being used or that will be used in game?
So first of all, yeah, they're 3D and everything that they do also inside the game, all the movement, they have all 3D moving parts. So it makes the game even more interesting with the zoom ins and everything, like the entire movement. I think that the way that it's built is that we have 5 different rarities. It goes from bronze, silver, gold, epic, and legendary. And the main differences between them is what perks each rarity has. Like the more scarce the rarity, it has better perks, and it has like more skills. Like you have more probability to win in matches. Okay, and you have like a cool visual effects. Another great thing about the characters is that they are progressing. Okay, they have progression on them. So the more you progress them, the better they are. They have better chances of winning. It's very exciting.
And there's some benefits to holding like the original, like
yeah.
So before the original, when it comes to rarities and things like that, I just want to emphasize because this is not a turn-based game. This is a live action game. So even though we'll have some advantages potentially to certain rarities, and through characters that have progressed, skill will still be the number one most important thing to someone to compete in PvP. So we designed them in a way that even if you have a lower rarity, if you're a good player, you can definitely compete with let's say a higher rarity NFT, no problems. And when it comes to the 1% perk, so the unique perk that we have in terms of the Genesis collection, the first 15,000. This is something we wanted to do a bit differently, like many things we did in the game. We wanted to give, let's say, the people who get involved into the project at such an early stage, some sort of an advantage, something unique, something of, hey, you joined this project early. It's not just going to be about, how much the NFT is worth and things like that, but you have to get something unique. So this is why we have the 1% lifetime perk for Genesis. And what this actually means, any character, any NFT character that you recruitment is our version of breeding, what other games call breeding, you're getting 1% from their earnings, so forever. And this doesn't only include the characters you recruited, but also all the next generations that come after that. So if they share a common descendant, so my Genesis Space Ape is the descendant of all these generations of NFTs, I am getting 1% from all of them. So to put things in perspective, think about a few years from now, you'd be basically, I think the numbers are like if you recruit 6 NFTs and they recruit six NFTs, at about 4th generation, you're basically earning the amount of 13 NFTs put together. So this is something unique we don't see anyone doing, and we think it's the way we design the whole economy and everything, it plays into this. So yeah.
It's a nice way to reward the people that are involved originally also.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the whole reason for this feature, to give something quite unique to these people.
And the NFTs, like you alluded to a little bit, but like they can be upgraded. Is that correct?
Yeah.
How? So I'm lucky enough to have one of the NFTs. Like what do you think my next move is now? Like what's the best? How am I going to like strengthen or like increase the utility of my NFT the most?
Play the game and get good at it. So progressing through the game and playing the game will actually allow you to. So the character becomes more and more powerful as you play the game. This is basically how it works. And in terms of how it gets upgraded, the start of the NFT, so the perks you have are what control the progression that you will see in the game itself.
Very cool. And so can we actually...
One more small thing is that we also have NFT interoperability, that we support other collections, like the Bored Apes one. And currently we're working with another big collection to join.
Yeah, we cannot really announce that one because it's going to be announced next week, but it's very good news. And we're already seeing
very exciting.
Other collections want to join and be inside of a game, which is a big part of what we're trying to do here. And on the Bored Apes Yacht Club, this basically means that any Bored Ape holder can have a playable character in game, can use the lending platform, so he can borrow the NFT and things like that. So this is the first step.
Just to be clear, like you guys are actually making a digital rendition of all 10,000 Bored Apes. Wow.
Yeah. So we use this exercise in order to set some sort of a protocol, a baseline that would allow other collections to fit into the game itself. So obviously the first time took the longest with the Bored Apes Yacht Club, because we did it for the first time. But now we have a baseline that when we're now talking to the other collection that will be announced next week, we now already have a clear picture, like what has to be done in terms of having it fit in the game, having the skills and everything work out. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you guys actually you've been releasing some cool content even in the last hours on your YouTube page. So towards the end of this, you guys, we're going to drop all the socials for Cantina Royale. If you're watching this as a recording, you can go below and there's links to all their pages. But let's show off this video that you guys just dropped. This is actually in relation to the Genesis NFTs that we're talking about right now.
Yeah,
cool.
Introducing the first collection of the best free-to-play and play-to-earn life shooter game coming to iOS and Android. The original collection of 15,000 Space Apes will be the Genesis collection of Cantina Royale, and the first ever AAA game launching on Elrond blockchain. Only Genesis Space Apes are entitled to lifetime earnings from future generations of Space Apes. Cantina Royale is the first game to launch this novel earning mechanism. Join the IDO and be part of an exclusive group of NFT holders that will automatically receive 1% lifetime earnings of every generation of Space Apes recruited after. Start playing with unique 3D in-game NFT characters in PvP or PvE game modes. Dare to win? Follow us on Twitter and Discord to stay up to date.
So cool. Hey, so I got Hardeep actually from my team as well, who's jumping in to join us. Hardeep is obviously really interested in this project and was the analyst, I believe, who identified the opportunity here and brought to our attention like all the unique things that you guys were doing. Hardeep, can you hear me?
Hey, yes. Hey, Johnson. Hey, Roy and Radu. I think it's so good to meet you guys again.
Nice
good meeting you.
Yeah, how cool is that video that they just dropped on their NFT collection?
Dude, I am hyped. as fuck, guys. I cannot wait to get started playing. I know it's just around a month away, and I'm loving these week by week sneak peeks that you guys are throwing at us. And I just cannot wait to get day one, get in there and start playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys got a really strong, you got a really strong community also. That was one of the things that I noticed. I've been jumping in the Discord the last couple of days, and it's popping off, like, and people are like really pumped on what you're doing. I think Hardeep, like what I was talking to them about is that like there's a lot of unique aspects on what they're doing, right? And especially like with the NFT like integration, like the cross-chain stuff. When you look at a Bored Ape, it's a 2D flat profile. Cantina Royale like just jumped in the deep end, and they're integrating them all in all obviously unique 3D form, which you can see from all the graphics and gameplay. It just looks awesome.
So was that the question for on our side, or
no? Just more a compliment.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome to hear. But I also want to go back to the community that you mentioned that is active. Really, we were so, I guess, surprised, but at the same time not so much. But I think the community grew fast because we didn't come up with a bit of concept art. So when we started communicating, actually, so when we started gathering a community around this project, we didn't have a picture, and then 1 year later we're gonna have a sneak peek or something. We wanted to come to this stage with the product that we are already playing. So the footage me and Ray played was already recorded by the time we started building a community. So I think it's been awesome, great community, and I think the fact that we had a somewhat finished product, and we're not launching this 2 years from now and things like that helped a lot. But I appreciate the kind words, and Hardeep, I really appreciate the fact that you basically raised Cantina Royale with PathDAO, so we have this discussion right now.
Yeah, I think that like on the graphics front, you guys are doing some like really cutting edge stuff. But do you also let's transition the conversation a little bit and start talking about Virco, because you guys have a really unique lending platform. That is it actually built into the game? Can you tell us more about this?
So this is a larger topic, and it's I'll do my best to try and fit it in this conversation. But Virco is not just a lending platform. Virco, the lending platform of Virco is one feature of Virco that we're using. So Virco is a layer 2 gaming platform that allows Web 2 games to be taken to Web3. This is basically a short version of the description, but it's coming with a lot of features. So game can integrate with Virco just by using APIs, so no need of blockchain development, nothing of the sorts. And this is not a concept project as well that we're a part of. So a few weeks ago we had a session with the game development studio. We took their game, we took it to the blockchain in about 4 hours. So in 4 hours we could see it earning, and smart contracts were working. So this is what we're building on Virco, and decided that instead of publishing marketing materials related to this platform, what better way to show what Virco can do other than what we're doing with Cantina Royale, which will be the first game to release using this technology and the platform. So the biggest thing that it allowed us is to have a seamless onboarding experience for the user. So with this game, you will need to create a wallet somewhere, go pass certain prolonged KYC processes and things like that. It's a simple sign up process that you can start playing the game and even earning way faster than you would in other Web3 games. So this is what Virco provides, besides a lot of other features. So removing the smart contracts, it has SDK and API integrations with Unity directly. So we build this game in Unity. So this is what Virco does. Definitely more than a lending platform, but also the lending platform is somewhere we change things quite a lot. So we have both models, the traditional scholarship model that is supported. That's not a problem, but the lending platform really changes things up and the way it works and how it allows free users to borrow an NFT, play with it, and it offers owners a lot more flexibility and easier access to a large community. And because we're going for a mass audience here, we're not building a game just I would say if you had 50,000 users in this space in Web3 games, it's a pretty successful game. But when you compare that with traditional games where they have hundreds of millions of users potentially, it's not even comparable. So because we're going for a mass audience here, the lending platform is what allows an easier collaboration between owners and borrowers.
Very cool.
I think only one more thing about Virco. The whole point was, like, I'm giving it as an example, to ease the accessibility so that also my mom will be able to play Web3 games.
That's always a goal, right? Because at PathDAO, one of the things we're working towards is to bring millions to the metaverse. And the easier that you can make it to onboard people, the easier that people can start playing. It has to.
It's like frictionless. It's like a login and bam, that's it. I'm playing a game. I'm enjoying myself. I'm earning. That's
exactly. So I checked
peasy.
3 times. I checked 3 times with the developers to make 100% sure that I can use this phrase. It's one button and you're playing. So you're borrowing, even the borrowing of an NFT as a free user that wants to earn. The borrowing, I checked that I can say this. It's a one click, one tap on the phone, and you just borrow the NFT.
Very cool. Hey, so I'm going to jump in for just a second here. We have a lot of our gamers from Game Street watching today, and so we're going to give away 2 secret codes. The first code, obviously, we're talking to Cantina Royale, so the first code is going to be Space Ape. So that's code number 1 for the Game Street gamers today, Space Ape. What kind of games, what kind of games do you think gave you the inspiration to create this? Obviously, the gameplay is amazing. You have some unique aspects with the integration of cool collections like the Bored Apes. What kind of games gave you the inspiration to create Cantina Royale?
Cool. That's quite a few games there, because we took them. Let's say we got inspired by a few games depending on the section and on the game mode itself. Games like Destiny 2, for example, which has the best possible, in my opinion, weapon system and weapon mechanics. So, by the way, when NFT weapons will be coming soon, and it will have interesting perks and system as well. So that's on the roadmap, not too far. Games like Apex Legends, when it comes to our opinion of having a good, fun, action-packed battle royale game, because we do have a battle royale mode, which I guess battle royale games on mobile are quite small potentially in certain cases, but we'll surprise how big of the map we have and how it works and things like that. So for me, it was Destiny, Apex, other smaller inspirations from a lot of games when it comes to UI, who's doing well, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike in certain things, So we try to take the best from the games that we enjoy playing, So we had some sessions with the game developers, what they're playing, we looked at everything. So, but for me, just me personally, I think Destiny 2 for the whole weapon system design and things like that, and then Apex Legends specifically for the Battle Royale design of the game.
It's like we took all the best things from all the best games.
We tried.
I mean, you're spot on about Apex and Destiny having really deep customization levels for weapon, character design, and I think if you take all of that, you put it in a battle royale, you put it on mobile, you give it to as many people as possible, because you're not trying to build a AAA game over here. You can only run on PC. You've got the accessibility of mobile. You've got the ease of use with Virco's lending platform. I think it's gonna.
I guess there's an interruption there.
A bit about how would the in-game economy work for this game. So it's going to be free to play. I understand that, but could you just run us through a little bit about how a free-to-play player would get started, how perhaps this player would then progress towards gaining items in the game, or perhaps upgrading themselves, and a little bit about your Genesis collection as well.
So about the economy of the free-to-play player. I mean, to start, the free-to-play player will have basically two options. One is to borrow an NFT and start to also earn from that NFT that he borrowed. And the second option is to go ahead and pick one of the several free NFTs that we have that do not give out rewards in tokens. I think that the way that we built the game is that also the free-to-play players will be able to progress. So we have two progressive layers. We have one of the NFT, the character one, and the one that we talked before, how we operated, etc. And we have another one, which is the players NFT, the players progression. Like every player, they have certain levels and let's say that weapons will be unlocked as the players progress, and they will be available to enter certain modes like special tournaments and open up new contracts and stuff like that, new customization. So this is the game. What was the second thing that you asked?
It was about the collections that you guys. So I think you guys have a Genesis coming up, right? And I think you guys are slowly teasing your audience as well, your community as well. So want to get a sense of how would that work coming to the game early on, and how would it integrate with the system?
It's kind of laggy. I don't necessarily hear the entire sentence, but I think that in terms of the Genesis collection, basically it gives 1% from all the new recruiting from that specific father, I don't know how to call it, like the master Genesis space ape. So it's another way for us to ensure profitability and early access rewards that we are giving players that want to join the game at an early stage. And I think that this is the game changer here, because players that will go in the game at an early start, they will have rewards until the end of time, basically.
Now, what if I go in, right? I'm just starting out, and I want to use Vector, and I want to borrow, like you're saying, one click, use somebody's ape, for example. Do I receive all of the rewards, or is there like a split of those rewards between myself and like the person who's lended that NFT?
So there's two ways to look at it. First is if you're using the lending platform, our lending platform. This is where we change things a bit, and I'm going to explain how it works, and then kind of add more as to why we added this and why it works like this. So if you go the lending platform route, which is the route we recommend, it basically means you're not splitting actually with the person who's borrowing your NFT in the lending platform. What will happen is that there is a lending pool that accumulates, and every week every person who has their NFTs into the lending platform, basically staking their NFT, gets a share of that pool. Okay, that means you're not fully dependent of one player's performance into the game, but the whole ecosystem and the success of the game as a whole rewards you as a holder. The rewards you get are also based on the how much you progressed your NFT character, what level it is, and things like that, and its power, of course. And so that's the lending platform, and that is the route that we designed in a way that fits way better with a mass audience, that makes the process of borrowing an NFT way simpler. Because try to get in on a scholarship program as a user who just heard about game, doesn't know about crypto. It's basically impossible. So this is the route we took that ensures a stable economy going forward. Of course, we also have the traditional route of revenue sharing, so between the lender and the borrower. This is outside of the lending platform, so we call this peer-to-peer lending, basically. So that's the traditional way people do it, and for that, the actual percentage each part gets can be negotiated. So let's say you as an owner, you can say, okay, I'm going to lend this to someone I know, to someone I trust, or whatever, and I want 50% of the rewards to come to me, or 60%, whatever you decide. So we have both options.
Cool. Okay. I think Chris broke off, or did I break off?
We all good with connection?
Yeah, cool. Really good stuff. also, I want to get a sense of what what would someone who has an NFT be able to do versus a free-to-play player. I'm just curious. Is it just skins? Is it, perhaps maybe some perks? What would someone who has access to the Genesis collection have over a free-to-play player?
So basically, the owners of the NFT, their NFT will be stronger than the free to play, but not in a way that skill will not matter. Because after all, this game is a skill-based game. So the change in variance of amount of strength, let's say, that the players have, it's not that big that it creates a variance between the skills. Like skill does matter. Another thing is that they're getting rewards. Like this is the whole element of play and earn. So free to play players, if they don't, let's say that they don't borrowing the NFT, they're playing for free. They're enjoying themselves. They're progressing. They have like in-app purchases that they can use. It's like a regular game for everything. So this is the main differences.
One thing that I want to add here that makes things possible, because and Roy is not going to say this about himself, but he's an expert game economist with a lot of years of experience in game economy. So, by the way, once we had him in the team, we were able to design the game economy for long-term success, because we were looking what was happening in the market, and we were like, okay, there's a lot of things, it's
You're
not so
making
easy
me
to build.
blush.
Yeah. But what's important to know, like, how will all of this work? What are we doing in terms of game economy to ensure long-term success? So when we go for the mass audience, so this is something very important into the game. The game will be available on iOS as you would play any other traditional game, okay? And you will be able, you will be able to, let's say, buy certain in-game items and boosts and things like that with fiat. We use that fiat and we buy CRT, buy the token with it. This ensures like a successful game. This is why we build the game first, that we want to have a very successful game, regardless of the play of the earn aspect. So this ensures a steady amount, an additional source of, revenue into the token. This ensures the value of the token keeps going up. This is how we correlate the token with any other currency, anything that would be very available also to a community that might not be so familiar with crypto and so on. So this is something very important. This is why we had to go mobile first. And when we say mobile, we're not going to send a version on our website. You're going to download that directly from the App Store and the Google Play Store. Yeah. And believe me, to have it fully compliant with Apple was something we and Google was something we worked a lot on. And luckily, we work with people who were part potentially of the Apple compliance team in the past. So we have some experts that really knew everything that we need to do. And I'm surprised more games don't do this, because in the past few years, they published more, clear information about compliance in terms of pay to earn and Web3 on iOS and App Stores. It's just people, I don't know what what the limitation is. Of course, it's something you have to work around with and make sure you comply. But if you really want to go to a mass audience, you have to. You cannot just keep downloading an APK from a website. That just doesn't work.
For sure. Can you, okay, so like we're getting more and more excited up here. There's some cool comments. People are getting really excited. What's the roadmap look like ahead? Can you give us some significant like dates and events coming up?
Oh yes, we can. We didn't come with this project.
Got some big things coming.
Yeah, we didn't come with this project to say, okay, in 6 months we'll have a closed beta version somewhere. No, the game will launch next month. So it's basically more about fitting certain other related items than actually, related to having the game ready itself. But, not necessarily market conditions, but announcements, certain whitelisting processes that we have in our community. So we want to make sure, KYC processes for the whitelistings and things like that, that everything is happening. So speaking about the roadmap, First thing, today was a big day for us. So everyone just announced we're part of their launchpad. This is why we see some additional content being posted now. We were keeping those trailers and that content, we want to show them there first. So now the doors are open. We'll publish a lot more art. So in terms of roadmap, today was a big, milestone for us.
Big milestone.
Yeah, exactly. The game launch is coming pretty soon. So a lot of people were surprised when we started talking about. So when we're building our communities, like, wait, this is a game coming this year. So that was the first surprise that everyone was having. So maybe we looked at the drawing boards. Like, guys, maybe we should have started speaking about this project way back. But we think, there's advantages to having, a short period where you communicate, hey, this is the project, it's coming out. And of course, we want to have a steady, we understand that just releasing a game that is fun is not enough, because you could be having fun 1 month and that's it. So there is regular content being pushed. We didn't want to publish everything at the same time, plus there's things like scaling and making sure, certain metas are not overpowered and things like that. But we have upcoming the big Battle Royale game. We'll launch a bit later after the initial launch. We have exciting things like tournaments. We see, once we have a lot more collections like the Bored Apes integrated, we want to do collection versus collection tournaments and things like that. So some interesting and fun stuff there. PVE, the PVE missions will be coming again a bit after the launch. But I think the best, to keep up to date with the roadmap, it's the white paper is published. We have maybe we will be able to share a link with the community. Everything is there. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting, potentially sleepless next month or two. But yeah, exciting stuff coming just around the corner.
So this is like not maybe the easiest question or the best question, but obviously like we're in like not the greatest market right now. Does that like affect your guys' like development? It seems like you're project first, right? You guys are just focused on building and building. The fact that we're in this type of market, does that push back any dates or anything for you guys?
So yeah, please.
Sorry, Radu. So I think that the most important thing about what we're trying to do is that we're first building a game. Diablo Immortal just came out. The market is not good, but they're doing fine. I think that because we're game first, and it's not about inflation of the token and stuff like that. It's really it doesn't necessarily matter where the market is. Okay, because the players will play the game. The players will play the game because, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry for that. So we had a lot of internal discussions around this, as you can imagine, and we talked about pushing dates and things like that. And we understand that there were two major things that actually made us consider potentially pushing some of the dates. First is, in such a market, which was something we haven't seen for a while, such a bear market, we were concerned about the users themselves who potentially could be losing their investments and want to participate but couldn't. So that was the first concern. So there's a potential that if it went more, so if it gets in a way worse place, we might have to reconsider, just from the fact that, hey, we don't want to limit the community. Maybe they're going to have some financial difficulties and things like that. But in terms of the actual like what's going on, we understand that maybe this current market, when we launch and once the token is out, there might be a lower evaluation based on what's going on in the market. But for us, it wasn't important. Like Ray also mentioned, having a successful game, we want to launch because we want to learn together with the users. We want to learn how to develop it further. So honestly, if we would have postponed that too much, it would have caused other difficulties in our roadmap and in our long-term success. So because we're looking long-term, what is happening in the market, some would even prefer that you don't launch when the market is up, because now you have a more realistic point of what's going on, something more sustainable, and how to build upon that. But yeah, I just mentioned that the concern was in certain situations you could have users going through hard financial times that what's going on. So we didn't want to get to a point where it's limiting. So in that sense, because we just published about the IDO and everything on Enron, we took certain measures to ensure that people will be able to participate. So, for example, the ticket prices used to be higher potentially in the past. So, for someone to participate, the barrier of entry, we took it down a notch or two, just to allow community to get involved. Plus, we're looking for gamers first, because if everyone who invests in the game and buys the NFTs are investors and not gamers and don't want to play the game, that's going to be a pretty difficult launch date, with the multiplayer game. So we're looking for gamers. So we want to make the barrier, acceptable.
Hardeep, I think that's music to our ears, right?
100%, 100%. I mean, like, I completely agree with you when you said that it's impossible to time the market. 6 months from now, we still could be in a bear market. Things could be, it still could look very depressing on paper, and then you end up delaying and wasting 6 months where you could have already launched the game, tried things out, started beta testing, alpha testing, right? So why not, just launch now? You've got a strong product, you've got really strong engagement, good traction already, and just take it out from here. 100%.
Yeah.
That's definitely the right move.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because there were some discussions here, but we're glad we're not the only one. And also keep in mind, the game will be, like I said, in App Store and iOS. We could be having 500,000 users there, and they don't care about what's happening in this market, So it's a bit different. Yeah.
I think this is a good time that we can give our second code for the Game Street gamers. So we dropped the first secret code earlier. So if you guys didn't get the first code, you got to go back and watch the video, which is worth watching anyway if you haven't. We played some really, really cool game modes. We played an NFT Genesis video that Cantina Royale just dropped like 2 hours ago. We'll play the trailer again at the end. But today it's all about the Cantina. So that's going to be secret code number 2 is the Cantina. And sort of leading off of this, really, Cantina Royale is more than just a game. It's really a metaverse project that you guys are building. Can you expand a little bit? You've talked a little bit about some future things, but where, when you see the future of Cantina Royale, really this is just one game title, correct?
Yeah. So I think that the whole idea for the Cantina Royale is be an actual cantina where players can come and socialize and interact with one another with different collections. They can go and hang and chat and decide to go on missions together, on raids, on play PvP together. I think this is the main thing that we want to do. Also, to have the interoperability ability inside the game makes it even more fun and more exciting, because if I have a Genesis Space Ape and Radu has a Bored Ape and we come and we see one another, it's really exciting.
By the way, I wish I had that Bored Ape, but yeah, I was late to that one. I just want to add here that in terms of how we see the future on it, we're pretty, let's say, also I would say greedy, but not money wise, in terms of what we're building together with Virco. We don't just want to have other collections join Cantina Royale. We want the Space Apes to be able to join other games as well. So this is something that there's a reason, with other games coming to Virco, and we're already having interest. We're not even pushing this project because we wanted to release the first game that is using the technology, but we're already in talks with other games that want to jump. Like I said, we had some sessions to show them, okay, this is how we integrate it, and we're also helping in terms of, building an economy, building, an NFT collection there and things like that. But ideally, what we want is that this protocol that we have, and this is what we're using for the Bored Apes Yacht Club, is also something that other games on Virco will use. So we also want to see the Space Apes have some fun in other games. So this is how we see the future built around it. This is, in our opinion, a first step. I know every market is competitive, but I think to build something great and as complex as this one, you need Like, I would love for someone to, 3 months after we release to challenges and be another game that is on iOS, App Store, play to earn, similar concept, easy strategy to onboard and things like that. We want this type of a competition because there's no way you can learn without having that sort of a competition.
Yeah.
And this is what Virco allows, because if we only wanted this for ourselves, we wouldn't have, Virco onboarding other games as well. So, yeah.
I think that's so cool how it's going to work both ways, right? Because like obviously we're talking. There's some people writing in the comments section now. Okay, I have my Bored Ape. Can I start right from the beginning? But not only are you guys bringing them in, like the space apes are. The space apes are going to be going out into space. They're going to be going to different projects as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can you talk a little bit about like the whitelist project? Is there, if somebody's listening right now and they want to get involved, they're hearing about this, is there still any opportunity for them?
This is the best opportunity, especially for a gamer right now. So what was announced on Enron today was the IDO, but it's a bit different. Like, we did a few things different, but this time it's also different that there's also a bundle there where 5,000 NFTs are on Enron, and you can buy a bundle on both the token and the NFTs. However, the rest of 10,000 NFTs will be if you want to whitelist there, join our Discord, because the contests in terms of the NFT whitelisting are starting. Some of them were already completed, but there's some room left. So definitely join the Discord, and the next following days will actually be crucial, because we wanted this moment with the launchpad announced, everything, online, some new content pushing out, and contests and whitelisting are going to start. And we know on Discord that we have a lot of gamers, and that's why it's the best place to have whitelisting right now. So I think it's definitely not too late. It's definitely not too late. It's actually the perfect timing to have this conversation.
So you guys are hearing this. You can go below on the recording. We're going to put all of the links to the Cantina Royale socials. But it sounds like from Radu, like the Discord, that you want to follow them so you know what's going on. You follow them on Twitter. That way you'll see all the drops and the stuff that's going on. But it sounds like if you want to get involved, being active in the Discord community, that's the move.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Being active, you have to level up, but we didn't make it too hard. You notice we don't want to have any barrier of entry in anything, too hard of a barrier of entry, so to say. But
yeah, you guys keep saying that. I think it's really cool. It's more gamer first than, I hate to say it, it's more gamer first than investor first, right? Because it's about building the game, and you really need those. That you have to have the gamers. The gamers are the imperative part there.
This is what keeps the game running for the long run.
Yeah.
So you've shared like quite a bit of like alpha, I think, like already. Is there anything maybe that we know that there's going to be a big announcement coming up with a new collection. Obviously the token news. Is there sort of, we always like to ask, is there an unreleased alpha that you can share a bit, with the community, or something maybe that isn't widely known about the project?
So in terms of sharing, so everyone is asking, because they saw us playing the game, everyone is asking for a version that they can play with a bit and things like that. So there's one thing we want to mention here, because we really run on a tight schedule. We're focusing all of our efforts for going live. And a multi-platform release with a multiplayer game across regions is not simple. But at the same time, we really looked at it. And because we're going for mass audience as well, it would have been amazing for us to just collaborate with, for example, you guys and your community. Imagine that beta, that feedback that we would get, that, that information.
Crazy.
Yeah, it would have been valuable for us, to an extent I cannot even explain. But at the same time, we would offer an advantage potentially to you guys or certain guilds and things like that. So we also didn't want to offer this. We want to have a launch where you could be potentially playing with someone who's part of a guild and someone who's just joined on iOS, and you shouldn't know about this. So I'll keep an eye open, because you guys definitely have a strong community, and I see the comments here are amazing. So if we get to a point where we cannot release without a bit of a beta version. I don't know, a 2,000, 3,000, beta test. Rest assured that, of course, we're gonna come back to you and ask you guys for help in terms of, you
We
guys are
will write it in
organized
a
group of
code
gamers.
below.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we cannot provide a version. It's not even alpha. I think we're past alpha. We're in early internal beta, because if the games is launching in 1 month, it cannot obviously be in alpha.
You guys are just hard at work. I love it. Hardeep's doing this.
No,
It's like the calendar where you start marking the days down to launch.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hardeep, you got anything? Any last questions?
I'm getting an interruption.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, I think you. I think Chris is having internet connectivity. So I'll just ask one last question, right? So I'm super curious.
Really good information.
Oh, you just came back.
You just came back.
You just came back.
Zoned out for 30 seconds. Yeah,
what was it, Hardeep?
I'll ask one last question because I think you zoned out for like 30 seconds. Yeah. So one last question from my side, right? So imagine if a new player comes in, right? They're trying to get involved. They're trying to get more in tune with the different game modes that you guys have. I'm assuming you got a 1v1 game mode, a 4v4, a battle royale, right? How can that one player join a clan? Is there a built-in clan system where I can form my own clan? For instance, me, Chris, and the entire PathDAO team can get together in a small mini clan, and then we can arrange for when to play, what modes to play, and also the whole social side of things.
Roy, do you want to take that one, or should I?
No, go.
Okay, so on the social side, for multiple reasons, but also because we're launching so soon, and the social aspect of it and how it's integrated with Virco as well comes into play. At launch, you will not have the possibility to build this type of teams and things like that, but immediately after, it's like the top priority that we're already working on the social system and and things like that. We were more focused on matchmaking, and the first launch, we wanted to have a bit of a smooth, let's say, information in terms of what's happening into the game. So random here will be helpful for us to see like different players' skill caps, skill levels for the matchmaking system and things like that. But yes, there will be this social aspect. We want to have raids together. So definitely we definitely have to have a system like that. Otherwise, you'd be denying people to play the game potentially, together and things like that. So we're working on that. Might not be available immediately upon launch, but definitely coming right after.
Yeah, it's in the roadmap.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. I'm excited.
I like the tournament idea, Hardeep. We could probably even do like a guild versus guild.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We want to give. Yeah, we want to. So we will organize certain tournaments. The way we have so many ideas with the tournaments that we want to organize, but that's because we had so many. We realized we have to let the community somehow also organize type of tournaments. So this is also something that we want to have integrated in the game when it comes to tournaments. So you just mentioned, let's challenge another guild to a tournament. Yeah, do it in our game. It's perfect.
Well, I think for me, Hardeep, the things that really stand out from the AMA tonight from Radu and Roy is that like it's really community and gamer first, right? Like just about all the answers circle back to like, well, what's going to be best for the game and the community. Unique aspects, the NFTs obviously are total fire, and the way that they're doing like the cross integration. First with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, there's going to be another one coming. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe people can give some guesses, but that really stands out to me. And then in terms of Virco, like what a cool platform and a cool way to really launch it, in Cantina Royale. But the forward thinking is not just to, bring collections in, but obviously, the space apes, like they're going to be going out. Like there's some really cool, unique aspects behind Cantina Royale.
We really appreciate the kind words, and yeah, you were spot on what we're trying to build here. what we're building here, actually. Yeah?
Cool.
Because Virco is working already. Yeah.
Hardeep, anything else we want to ask him while we got him here on stage?
No, I think we've taken enough of that time already. I think we've got a lot of content over the past hour or so. Really good stuff, guys. Super excited.
Thanks.
I'm hoping you guys have a
Yeah,
smooth.
we'll keep building the excitement within our community, right, Hardeep?
100%. 100%.
Amazing.
Really appreciate it,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
I see the community here, and it's been amazing for us. We were a bit worried about, it's a live conversation. Let's see how the community feels. But I guess the product we have behind us is helping, us maybe not being so amazing at this type of discussions live. But I guess the community is really, really excited, and we really appreciate it, guys.
Well, it's cool. We have Hardeep who's checking in from Malaysia. I'm in South America right now, and you guys are in Israel and in Bucharest, Romania. And we're all coming together to build this. I think within the PathDAO community, the excitement for Cantina Royale is definitely building. And it's going to be exciting. 1 month away, essentially, until our gamers are going to be able to jump in. Or I should say fly in, probably.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Awesome.
Cool, guys.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you both so much for coming today. For anyone who's watching the PathDAO YouTube channel for the first time, please make sure to subscribe. We'll finish off now with playing a cool trailer from Cantina Royale, but also make sure to go below. All of their socials are listed there. And as Roy and Radu said, get active in the Discord, because that's going to give you, I think, a real advantage, not only on the opportunities, but also once the game does drop. So thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to catching up.
It was a pleasure. Ciao.
Bye.